back to Detroit Pistons Me Off, and today we're previewing the Friday's preseason matchup against the New Orleans Pelicans. The Piston Twitter is going crazy, hating on the Pistons right now. After one preseason game, what can I say? Pistons fans, do me a solid. Smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that little notification bell. For this coming Friday, we have a much harder opponent, in my opinion. The New Orleans Pelicans could go deep, could make a deep playoff run. They have all the potential. Of course, I do kind of question if Zion Williamson will actually stay healthy or not. And so for that reason, may not get as far as they possibly could with the potential that they have. But let's get into this matchup right now. So we saw in Game 1, overall a very positive performance for the Pistons as far as development of our players. We saw a very solid play from both Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren, the new guys, and also Bojan Bogdanovic, getting better at that. Right now in this game, where are we going to match up? How are we going to match up against these New Orleans Pelicans? Of course, who's going to guard Zion Williamson? Isaiah Stewart? I mean, anybody in this league is going to have a hard time against Zion, especially when he's in shape. That's a matchup problem. Jonas Valanciunas is also a much bigger guy than who we have at the center position, especially at the current time where we are starting a smaller but stout Isaiah Stewart. Is it time to consider Jalen Duren as the other starter? I don't think he's ready yet. I think he needs to come off the bench, but maybe Nerlens Noel. I would say Marvin Bagley possibly can play with Isaiah Stewart, but defensively, I don't know how much. If you're looking to add a big man and go with two bigs, you might as well have two guys that can play some defense. And Marvin Bagley hasn't proven that to me yet. Although he's a solid shot blocker, he also seems to be lost on some assignments. So let's go over some of the matchups here. The matchups, we got C.J. McCollum versus Jaden Ivey or Cade Cunningham. Very interesting matchup. C.J. McCollum looks very good and is probably the leader of this team at this point. And then you got Brandon Ingram, the prolific scorer at the two guard. So you got Ivey and Cade versus Ingram and McCollum. I mean, at this stage in the game, New Orleans is a bit ahead of the game on that, but I think in a couple of years, like I say, gotta give it some time. It's the Pistons. I do think we're gonna make a run at the play-in this year. I don't know if we're gonna get there, but I think we're gonna be competitive. I said that I'm not freaking out over one preseason game, and we had just this terrible shooting performance from Sadiq and Cade and too many turnovers. But other than that, things are looking fine. Things are just fine. It's all groovy, all right. Detroit. The name of the channel is Detroit Pissing Me Off, but I try to only get pissed off at the refs or if we're losing too many games, which we do lose too many games. But then again, I'll try to keep my composure for the majority of the content. All right. Small forward, Herbert Jones versus Sadiq Bey. Not a bad matchup there. Herb Jones, very versatile and rookie. He's got a lot of potential. Sadiq Bey, I'm looking to see him come out and have a much better game against the Pelicans. So expect Sadiq to come out firing, and hopefully he is bringing it from all corners. I almost would rather see him specialize as a 3-and-D type of player than try to do all these things that he's not the greatest at. Like he got a little bit better at it last season, and it's okay to experiment with it here in the preseason, but I think he needs to be out in the corners with Bogdanovic ready for the threes. Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham are going to create matchup problems. They're going to get open. They're going to get double teamed, and that's where Sadiq and Bogdanovic find the open looks. Also very encouraging to see Isaiah Stewart shooting the ball and without any hesitation in Game 1. Now the power forward, of course, is Zion Williamson matching up against Bojan Bogdanovic. That's going to be a matchup nightmare for Bogdanovic. He's going to try to guard him, or Sadiq Bey. Whoever's got that matchup is going to be rough, or Isaiah Stewart. So you might see a different lineup. I kind of think the Pistons might go with a different lineup. They probably should experiment with a different lineup tomorrow night. And then also, what about Marvin Bagley? Defensively, like I said, he's not there, but he does create a spark on offense. So they can come off the bench, to be honest. And then the center, Jonas Valanciunas, another big. So we got just too much size inside for really the Pistons to handle. So maybe you should just attack and go super small. Maybe they start Isaiah Livers at the center and just all shit threes all day long. I mean, hey, I'm not opposed to it. Try it out. It's a preseason. Let's see what works. Does Jaden Ivey continue to play within himself and play with that tempo and the speed that he looks so good at? I was very impressed. I was thinking that he might be a little bit too fast for his own good in Game 1, but he looked very composed I really like that. And Duren, a beast on the boards, 14 rebounds. What can I say about that? So very interesting matchup there. I was very impressed with the Pistons overall in Game 1, besides the turnovers and the bad shooting from our two best shooters, or two best offensive scorers from last year, Sadiq and Cade. Pistons fans, do me a solid. Smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that little notification bell. Leave a comment telling me what you thought of Game 1 and what are your predictions for Game 2. Do you see any different lineup changes? Will we see Hamidou Diallo or some of the other guys that didn't make it in to the game last time? So, with that said, I'm going to bid you guys adieu. You have a wonderful day. On Detroit, Piston me off.